My grandfather was Henry Farber, and he came from Vilnius in Lithuania to Weldon in approximately 1892. He came in through Baltimore, I believe, but he kept going south as a peddler until he felt comfortable. And apparently he stopped in Weldon and chose it. He spoke only Yiddish as far as I know, and had to pick up the English, here and there. But people were enchanted with him because he was a Jew, and Jesus was a Jew, and they felt this is a holy man. Those are the stories that I heard, which is really remarkable.
Henry Farber slowly brought his family over. My grandfather, Morris, took the train and as far as the money would take him, and he ended up in Weldon. And he ended up peddling socks on the corner where our store eventually was.
My grandfather came to America in 1912. He was a young man, he was 17 years old, and he learned to be a shoe repairman. He had heard in the towns in North Carolina they needed shoe repairmen. Of course, Weldon would have been the first stop in North Carolina, and it would have been a big train hub at that time. So he got off, and he found a few other Jewish families who were already settled.
Shema Yisroel.
Weldon became the center of Jewish life for several communities across 2 states. In 1912, the Hebrew Community Center of Weldon and Roanoke Rapids formed. And in 1954, they purchased a house that was remodeled into a synagogue, renaming themselves Temple Emmanuel.
It was more of a melting pot, probably, than most little towns. My grandfather and his 3 brothers, they were Catholic and attended a small little church over in Roanoke Rapids. One of them decided to settle in Rocky Mount, and the other 3 settled here in Weldon because of the railroad. And they were in the mercantile business, first by selling just on the road, and then had the store downtown. They made a tremendous effort to be part of the town. Education was a huge deal, and it was really promoted strongly, good work ethic to go along with it. So that's why, consequently, I think you saw everybody working in the store at some point in time to establish that work ethic.
My father left Greece in 1938 for a better life. So he went to Weldon, I think, right around 1940. Eventually bought his partners out and had the Carolina Cafe in Weldon. It took until 1948 to come to the States. And my father had come up from Weldon, and that's the first time I met him in New York. We got to Weldon on the train in the morning. The stories we had heard about America is that it is the land of milk and honey, wealth. You find money on the street. We got a cab and we rode through all these fine homes. I said, gosh, our house has got to be like that. That's fantastic. Well, we turned to our house. It was an old 2-story home, but it was in terrible shape. And it was the ugliest one on the block. But we get to this old ramshackle house, and we get out of the cab, and 3 little girls from the neighborhood came up to greet us with flowers. So the welcome that we got was just phenomenal. You go in a large city, you aren't going to find somebody next door to you that will welcome you or help you, whereas in Weldon, you could do that.
I think it provided my grandparents with a path to becoming Americans. How did that happen? It was the people. it was their neighbors. They had a very beautiful world in their family and in their own home, and that was a more traditional Jewish world that they were able to hold on to, but still become a part of this bigger community, small town that it was, because people were kind to each other, they valued each other, and they needed each other.
Weldon gave them the grounding that they needed, I think, to be able to go and be successful somewhere else.